Huntsville city leaders remember a local fallen Vietnam veteran by dedicating a bridge in his honor. Leaders unveiled the Lance Corporal Larry G. Clark Memorial Bridge on Drake Avenue just west of Memorial Parkway. Clark's sister, aunt, and nephew were there to receive a copy of the bridge sign. The Bronze Star veteran served in the U.S. Marine Corps and was 21 years old when he was killed while launching a grenade during an attack 53 years ago.
This is a great honor. I'm tickled to have this for him because these were his stomping grounds, you know.
The city also presented a resolution for the bridge dedication to the family.